I'm back. Hello again. Stupid, stinking Verizon keeps going down. And on Christmas morning of all days. Hi, Jason. Hello again. You know, the problem is, from what I've gathered from other locals, Frontier and Spectrum are not any better than Verizon. And they all want you to subscribe to cable television too. And I'm not going there. Anyway, Merry Christmas. It's still is not illegal to say Merry Christmas unless you're in Europe. The Christmas marketplace is now the winter marketplace. I think that's in Belgium, might be in Germany. I don't know. And it doesn't matter. The rowdy rioters are still setting off smoke bombs and chanting and making lots of noise to disrupt the basically tourist events that support the economy that gives them all their free stuff. Oh, weirdos at the Circle K, huh? Well, stay away from them. Oh, Christmas weirdos. Okay. Well, Christmas is not when Jesus was born. What happened was the Catholic missionaries couldn't convince the pagans to give up their parties. So they said, okay, Christmas, that's when your pagan God was born? No, it's when our God was born. Halloween, the night of the living dead, basically. No, that's the evening before All Saints' Day. And the summer festival, no, that's St. John's Day. So all the pagan festivals got renamed and watered down, no more human sacrifice, no more getting naked and dancing around a bonfire. Oh, you start at 8:30. Well, I'm not sure whether we're on the same time right now. I have 13 minutes after 7 here. At the moment, it is not raining, but yesterday, oh my, we had a few lulls in the storm where it was just windy. Some of the wind was outrageous too. No, it's 8:15 where you are. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see. We're on daylight saving time. Or is it not? Or did we just go? We just went back to standard time. That's what it is. And Arizona's always on standard time. It rained all day yesterday with a break here and there. It rained most of the night, but right now, no wind, no rain, knock on wood. It's supposed to rain like crazy here today. And you get our leftovers. The Southern California leftovers go to Arizona. Well, good morning, Witta. Welcome in and Merry Christmas. Man, California is getting crazy. The government bamboozled us with, I think it was Proposition 19, It was supposed to fund firefighters, but down in the fine print, it has a little clause that means that when you die, your kids can't afford to keep your house because the property tax suddenly increases by about 10 times. So like me, I'm paying about 3,000 a year in property taxes. If my son inherits this house, he'll pay at least double that, maybe as much as 30,000. Uh, he can't do that. That's ridiculous. I've paid less than 100,000 for this house, and I'm barely hanging on to it. I've had it 20 years, 21 years now. It's falling apart because I can't afford the repairs. Oh, hi, Morgan. Welcome in. Tubes 4 is Morgan. Anyway, we don't have any weirdos around here. They're all hunkering down through the storm with a. Well, 21 years ago, I had a little money for a down payment. Those were the good old days. Anyway, yeah, it's home. At one point in my life, I had, counting my son's house, which I kept making the payments on because he couldn't, I had 3 houses, 3 cars, 2 pickup trucks. I got nothing now. Well, I got this house, and I'm glad to have it. I love the gardens, especially. Blackberries, roses. I had some fruit trees, but some kind of blight killed the peaches and apricots. Sad. I might try it. I've tried grapevines 3 times now. They didn't survive, but I think the last one was actually killed when the stupid neighbor put weed killer on his side of the fence. Well, chain link fence doesn't stop chemicals from going through the dirt to my plants. So I might try another grapevine. Keep it in the pot it came in until I have a bigger pot so nothing, no kind of contamination can get into the soil, and have it clear of any other cultivated plants so it doesn't catch a blight from them. Well, anyway, I started a stream, and Verizon went down on me, so I had to close it. It wouldn't let me reconnect. And so I started over. Let's see. Anyway, it's Christmas morning. I'm having a very good Christmas. If the break in the storm lasts long enough, some friends are bringing me a gift that they bought for me. I already know what it is. They said they were getting an air fryer. It is not what I would have asked for. I wanted coffee. I can't get it locally, and when I shop online, I can't use food stamps. Well, food stamps don't cover all my food anyway. But I'm not out of coffee, no. I'm out of the good organic free trade coffee. But I have some Folgers ground coffee and a Melita filter. And I do have a little instant coffee left. It's just not the good stuff. And for Christmas, I kind of wanted a jar of the good stuff. So, no, I'm not hurting. I'm not starving, and I'm not going without coffee. Where are my cigarettes? I might be going without cigarettes if the storm doesn't let up. I'm running out. But some good friends are providing me with enough funds to actually celebrate. It might be too late to get a turkey at the grocery store. They don't have them year round. I can't use a whole turkey. I can't lift 20 pounds. A 10-pound turkey would be pushing it. They don't have anything smaller than 20. But maybe they'll be selling like the breasts and legs separate. One can always hope. But if not, I'll go with ham and have one good feast to end the year, to celebrate the new year coming in. I'm actually happy that Trump gave lost my lighter, gave the military people a bonus from the tariff income. Okay, where'd I put it? I'll be right back. I'm getting my spare lighter. Uh, oh, give me a kitty who's big, fat, and pretty. Oh, just give me a good kitty cat, fat. I'm on my way back. Got my spare cigarette lighter. Ah. Oh, now I found it. It was invisible. Christmas frozen pizza. Well, that's something. Guy, widow, you should not have sent me that $5. You could have bought 2 frozen pizzas. Oh, you got DiGiorno. At least it's a decent brand. That's a treat. Yeah, when I have to resort to frozen pizza, I add extra cheese to it. Whatever kind of cheese I have, I grate it and put it on top. You're absolutely good? Okay. I'm pretty much set for this month, but I have to provide 10 million documents to Social Security because I get SSI, which is disability based on age. And I've been looking up all the various rules and regulations. And the way they set it up, your total income from a combination of SSA and SSI, retirement and disability put together, cannot be more than something like $976 a month. Nobody in California can live on that. It's at least $1,000 a month to rent a room, and then you got to get food and clothing and various little things the food stamps won't buy. Oh, yeah. Definitely add extra cheese, Witta. Oh, God. Jason has a Stouffer's French bread pizza. That sounds good. All right. Jason, have a great day at work. An hour and a half is honest, good work. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And praying for someone to hire you for a full-time job. Where's Morgan? Did he leave us? Well, son of a gun. I'm doing well this month. I got some good friends bought me some stuff, so my fridge is full, my pantry is full. And now I guess I got to learn how to cook with an air fryer. I'm fortunate in this storm that it was not a big deal for me to just stay put in my house. No job to worry about. The cats are all inside. They don't even want to go out. I suddenly started seeing air fryer on the cooking channels on YouTube. I got eye itchies. Every dang morning, eye itchies and face tickles and whatever. Apparently, it's for low-fat diets. But I'm not low-fat myself. And it says if you want to use cooking oil or cook something meat that's full of fat, you can still do that. But if you want to be low fat, you can, for example, make French fries without any oil. Oh, I've been meaning to do more on the cooking channel. I'm just having so much trouble with the internet connection. And then I had to clear out a space. A friend is bringing me a chair that no cats have shredded. I'm tired of picking up the stuffing that they've clawed out of my old chair. The fabric it's upholstered in just attracts them like crazy. And I'm going to use the nuclear option on the new recliner. I'm going to cover it with a blanket because I don't want to mess it up. And then I'm going to use maybe pepper spray or maybe tobacco sauce on the blanket. It should keep them off of it. Many years ago, when I caught a puppy chewing on one of the runners on Great Granny's rocking chair, I poured tobacco sauce on the runners, and the puppy put his mouth on the wood, cried, took his mouth off, and never touched it again. It's not cruel. It's just, hey, that's a no. I don't know where I'm going to put the air fryer. My tiny kitchen is already full of stuff. There is some counter space, but the air fryer would stop me from opening the cupboard where I have my dishes, my plates and bowls and stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, the worst thing when my son had a horse when he was around 12 to 14 years old. The horse in the stall next door chewed the hair off of his horse's tail. Not all of it, but enough to make it look sad. I didn't think of putting Tabasco sauce on the horse's tail. Oh well. Yeah. Dogs and cats are the worst because there's so many of them and almost everybody has at least one. And they live in your house. not outside in the barn. Oh, green apple flavored. Huh. The no chew you put on the wood to keep horses off? Sounds reasonable, green apple flavor. An unripe apple, in other words. The green Granny Smith apples aren't so bad. They're good for pies and applesauce. Oh well. Anyway, I'm glad so far, knock on wood, the internet's holding up. I was going to talk about Phil a little bit, but well, he wouldn't have a Christmas tree. He said it was a waste of money, and then you got to dispose of the dead tree. But he was into getting presents for our son and each other. No decorations, but our little boy always had at least one present to open. Phil was more into birthdays. One year I got him a silver cross that he'd been admiring. And now this was like 1974. He was complaining, is that all you got me? And I said, hey, it cost $50. Oh, if I'd known that, wouldn't have wanted it. He wore it for the rest of his life, and now his daughter Isa has it. For comparison, our rent on a 3-bedroom house was $300 a month, and that cross was $50. It was silver, hand beaten into the shape of a cross, and with a big turquoise right in the center. And there was something about his skin, the oils that your skin puts out. The turquoise was getting dissolved. It had all these pock marks, little dips, dinks, holes, like potholes. Wow. And the other thing I got him was a little postal scale so he could know what things weighed before he took them to the post office to get postage. And we were struggling. There was one time our car would refuse to start. If you drove it somewhere and parked it for a few minutes, it wouldn't want to start again. I think it needed a battery, but we didn't have any money to get one. We had to wait till Phil got another royalty check. So what I had to do was when I went to the post office to mail something for Phil, I had to leave the car running and lock it up with the engine running because it might not start when I wanted to go back home. Man, it was awful. but it was good in many ways. We never decorated the house. We never put up Christmas lights. We kind of gave up on the Easter bunny and just bought a box of chocolate at the grocery store. But it was good in many ways. I didn't have to wait till Easter to have a bite of chocolate. Easter and Christmas when I was growing up. I have Christmas lights on my house because I never take them down. They're hooked up to my porch lights so they come on when it gets dark out. It's on a timer, a dusk to dawn timer. And this year I did my best to arrange the lights so that they go red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white, blue. Kind of a subtle statement. I'm kind of sad. You're supposed to take down your American flag when it's raining. I couldn't get it down. It had to stay up through the storm. It's probably shredded now from all the wind and rain. I'll have to get help to take it down and put up a new one. I usually wear my little Santa hat on Christmas Day, but I can't find it. I would put it on while I was walking around town and tell everyone I'm an elf. I'm one of Santa's helpers. I don't do that much walking now. I'm limited. I'm walking better, but I still get tired really fast. But walking is good for my health and it'll strengthen my legs. My hurt leg is much, much better. It's just a little twinge here and there. And they want me to get physical therapy. I'm like, I've had physical therapy. It only made me worse. So I'll go with the exercises that my chiropractor gave me. They're kind of a modified chair yoga. Yeah, it's very good that my leg is better. So I was grabbing boxes all over the place and chucking them into nooks and crannies to make room to swap out the old chair for the new used chair that the guy's going to bring me. He thought he'd do it yesterday. His wife told him, we're staying in the house. You aren't going anywhere. The rainstorm was brutal. Oh, that's an idea. YouTube channel. Well, they wanted to do it by Zoom, the physical therapy. At least I have the option of saying no, because I'm at home and you're on Zoom. What are you going to do? The physical therapist has phoned me twice, but both times it was a time when I could not take the call. And she said to call her back, but I don't know. Every time I think I will do that, something comes up and I can't. I have to have a block of time. It's not going to be a 5-minute call. Oh, ask Dr. Joe on YouTube. what it says is a good physical therapist channel. Thanks for the link. Uh, wow. Yeah. Oh, one Christmas after we were separated, Phil, I could not afford to get the toys that our son wanted. So, Phil, when we came to visit and I explained it to him, he took Chris to Toys R Us and bought him all kinds of good toys. Now, those toys stayed at Phil's apartment, his condo, but that's all right. Chris got the toys he wanted. He had a Star Wars space station thing and all kinds of stuff. It was awesome. All I could get him was a little model. He was too young to put it together, so I put it together for him. He wasn't impressed. It was one of those little fighter spacecraft that the bad guys in Star Wars flew. Or maybe it was the good guys. I'm not sure. I think it was the bad guy spaceship. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm tired. I just remembered one birthday that my baby sister had. I was staying with our mother, the devil's sister, in Napa, Northern California, where Gruesome Newsom's grape vineyards are, wine country, wine vineyards, wine grapes. Well, anyway, my sister had a birthday coming up, so I bought some fabric and some scraps of rabbit fur, pelts, and spent a couple of months putting together a rabbit fur purse for her. And I bought just the belt without a buckle and used that for the handle. And all the teenage girls wanted rabbit fur purses. And I gave it to my sister for her birthday, and she never used it. After I spent 2 months with needle and thread and determination putting it together for her. She's. I told her years later, I spent all summer making that purse for you. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, well. I guess it should have been pink. It was like gray and white and, kind of a pattern to it. So I'm used to not being appreciated. It's like, hey, I'm not made of money. This is the best I can do. Now I have people who actually appreciate when I just bake some chocolate chip cookies for them. I think making cookies is pretty basic, but there's lots of people who just don't know how and don't have the time or inclination to learn. And I like the recipes on the back of the bag of chocolate chips. Oh, wow, your best friend as a kid was Potawatomi. Oh, her mom made all kinds of crafts out of all sorts of animals. Oh, yeah. Wow, you were lucky. I still think of my grandfather, Mom's father, making all sorts of things. He had quite the tool shop in his garage. The car sat in the driveway because the garage was his workshop. And he made all kinds of things. If something broke, he could fix it. Amazing man. Grew up on the farm in Idaho. That's what they did. They took, baling wire and duct tape and did what they could because they couldn't like go into town and have someone give, have the pre-made stuff. Wow. They couldn't just go buy stuff. They were farmers and, not wealthy at all. Oh, well, it's sad that the porcupine got run over, but the Potawatomi lady used the needles because they're hollow inside and put a string through them to make earrings. Wow. That's very clever. Mm. Wow. Anyway, don't feel sorry for me being alone on Christmas morning. I'm a hermit. I like being alone. I even resent the cats sometimes because they interrupt my train of thought. Oh, am I reading that wrong? It looks like POTS, maybe POTA. It doesn't look like an O. Potawatomi. Potawatomi? Potawatomi? Let's see. It's got to be Potawatomi. Okay. Well, POW? PO doesn't say POW. It says PO. Oh, well, whatever. Hi, Parmenides. Welcome in. Potawatomi. Okay. Got it. Potawatomi. Got it. I not that I'll remember it a couple hours from now, but if I see it again, it'll click my memory. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's Christmas. And it hasn't been raining for several hours, but knock on wood, I don't think it'll hold up, but I hope it does. Oh, man, Christmas. I had a Christmas tree one time, but my little boy didn't appreciate it. I had the ornaments and everything. He wasn't interested. And one of the joys of my childhood was hanging the ornaments on the tree. He wasn't into it. Oh, yeah, I made the purse out of rabbit fur, lined it with a pretty fabric. Those were the days. It took forever to sew the rabbit fur together, get it just the right size and shape, and turn it into a pouch. Because it was just scraps of rabbit fur. It wasn't a whole pelt. Ah, I do all kinds of arts and crafts, and I'm tired of people who don't live here and it's none of their business. Oh, you're a pack rat. You should throw that stuff out. Excuse me? I'm making something with that. Sometimes I have things that I know someone else can use because I know what project they're working on, and I'll give it away. But I'm not throwing out my crafting and art supplies. Go away. Yeah, they take up space, but I'm using them. Like the fool who took my kitchen scissors and dumped them in a box of sewing supplies. Didn't understand why I had scissors in the kitchen. I also had a pair of pliers in the kitchen for opening stubborn bottles like soda pop and such. Dumped them in a random box of tools and hardware. Took me forever to find the pliers. That was over 5 years ago now, and I'm still searching for things that disappeared. Don't know where they went. And now I can laugh at the people who called me a pack rat because I'm paying my bills by selling the things that I have packed up, that I've cleaned up, repaired, made things out of. I finally got the little uh, brass lamp put together properly so it works and isn't all loose and stuff. And the hard part was finding just the right lampshade for it, and I finally found it. I'm going to sell that, probably get $30 for it. And it cost me nothing because someone, well, they put it in the Lioness yard sale. So I bought it for like $5. And I'll get at least 30 for it at the consignment shop. Maybe more. Stuff like that. You should throw that in the trash. Why? I can get good money for it as soon as it's cleaned up and repaired. And it's hard to clean up things and repair them when someone has gone around and hidden all my tools, supplies, and parts. Oh well. I have found quite a bit of what I was looking for, but man, what gets me is where did they put my photos? I had them all in one box. They dumped it out, scattered them all over the place, and I found quite a few of them, but not all of them. And the ones that I had sorted and paired up with the negatives from back in the days when cameras used film, they're all separated. All the negatives in one box and all of the prints in some other box instead of put together so I know which is what in case I want to make prints from the negatives. Oh well, too much bitching. It's Christmas. Should be happy. But I like the fact that I'm home. Nobody's messing with my stuff. I can get things cleaned up, repaired, and into the consignment shop and pay my bills. And a few generous people have sent me Christmas presents. Well, hi, Renewal Man. Welcome in and Merry Christmas. Your keyboard is dyslexic, but I read typo. I'm a little dyslexic. Thailand, wow. What you doing in Thailand? Aren't they kind of at war with, is it Myanmar or? I think it is. The British used to call it Burma, but it's Myanmar. Anyway, I don't dare ask Google. Verizon keeps shutting down the internet connection. Wow. Oh, it's Cambodia. Working and raising a family, fighting at the border with Cambodia. Yeah, the world is going crazy everywhere. Yeah, Trump said he stopped the fighting, but they started up again. It's sad. Most of us are taught either by our parents or by our kindergarten teachers, by the age of 5, use your words, not your fists. Fighting doesn't solve it, it just hurts people. But sometimes, if they're fighting you, you got to fight back. Well, I'm glad you're doing the right thing, Renewal Man. Working and raising a family. Is Trump really building a golden ballroom? Well, I'll tell you. Obama wanted a ballroom, couldn't get it funded. George Bush wanted a ballroom, couldn't get it funded. Trump called up his friends and said, "Give me money, we're building a ballroom." And they paid up. No taxpayer money. Frankly, when they started, they were going to just add it on to the East Wing. But when they started opening up the wall to add on a ballroom, they discovered that the East Wing is about to fall down. It's really dangerous. So they have to take it down completely. If the roof caves in and kills people, that's not good. So yeah, he's building a ballroom. And it isn't my money. It's a bunch of millionaires and billionaires chipping in. That's the least of our troubles. He did give our soldiers a bonus. I don't think it applied to the higher officers. I think it's from lieutenant on down to private. But they got a Christmas bonus. 1776, $1,776 for Christmas. I think that's a good thing, but I'm sitting here going, where's mine? he keeps promising that people on disability or on Social Security but without very much money, people under a certain income are going to get a bonus funded by the tariffs. And I'm thinking, quit promising if you're not delivering. He just keeps saying, yeah, we're going to send you a bonus. This has been going on for almost a year. In fact, over a year if you count his campaign before the election. He isn't going to do it. I'm not holding my breath. If it does come in, okay, I'll pay off some of my debt. Smokey Sue, get out of there. Hi, sweetie. Smokey keeps attacking the other cats. She wants to play fight, and they don't want to play. I would let her out, but she might drown if it starts raining. Well, she wouldn't really drown, but she'd be an unhappy cat. Oh, there's all kinds of weird things in the news. You can't get the BBC to cover what's happening in London. The English people are rioting in London. Even the farmers are driven in on their tractors. It's like you're giving these people who landed a boat on our shores free rooms in luxury hotels while our veterans sleep on the sidewalk. And your plan to cover all these expenses is to basically confiscate farms from family farms with what they're calling a death tax. When you inherit a farm, you suddenly have to pay basically more than you earn in a year on that farm. So Starmer is in trouble. He has no solution to offer, and the opposition, and I forgot his name, he says it's simple, deport them. Deport everyone who came in without a visa. And apparently the English people are for it, but the Parliament is not. And King Charles isn't doing anything, but to be fair, he's a figurehead. He could give a speech, but he really has no real power. He has a throne and a crown and a castle, and a lot of money, but no political power. Smokey Sue, you leave Sweetie alone. She'll whoop your butt, old as she is. Sweetie is like ancient. Let's see, this is 25. I think she's 17 years old. But her claws still pack a punch when she's frightened or angry. Isn't that right, sweetie? Let's see if I can get you in the picture. There she is with her little white bib. She's a tuxedo. And you're hiding your white spot. Shame on you, sweetie. She has little white toes too. Where'd I go? Okay. She doesn't like to be on camera, but she does like kitty cat treats. Let's see. Treats. Crackers. There, here you go. Oh, I once had a parakeet named Crackers. Someone gave him to us. He really was Crackers. He was the craziest parakeet. He was a budgie, which is a small parakeet, little bird. He was mean and destructive. He liked to food. He'd bite your hand while you were trying to fill his little food bowl. And our crazy bird next door said, "Oh, that's such a pretty bird. Can I have it?" I said, "Yeah, take it." Cage and all, and food and so forth. Yeah, we're living in a nightmare. Things are pretty calm where I live. Small mountain community where most of us know each other. We don't necessarily know names, but we recognize faces when we're at the post office or the grocery store. Uh, you know, things are calm and quiet. I like that. Oh, here and there, usually around 10 o'clock at night, someone starts up a muscle car, you know, like a 70s Trans Am or an 80s Camaro. And it's making lots of noise. And there's some who have replaced the muffler with straight pipes, which is not legal, but people do it. And then the car is really noisy. And there's even a few driving old wrecks that they can't afford to fix up. Those cars are noisy. Let's see, Witta says budgies hold the record for most words, something like 900 words. I don't know if Crackers talked at all. He just had to stay in the cage hanging from the ceiling because I had cats. Now, Cubby, very nice little cat. Big tomcat, actually, but very mellow. He would sleep next to, my son had a pet rat named Rat. Cubby would sleep next to Rat's cage with his tummy up against the bars. Rat would use her little hands to pull off Cubby's fur for her little. It was so cute. And one time, when I walked up on my front porch, Cubby was lying down asleep on the porch, and a wild mouse was curled up asleep in his tummy fur. I said, "Cubby." Cubby lifted his head, and the mouse ran away. What? I was just taking a nap. He was such a cool cat. Well, he lived years old. DNA challenge because her parents were brothers.